So it's tough out there at the moment. A lot of agencies are grinding quite hard, making some tough decisions and powering through. And at times like this, we need more from our managers. We need our managers to manage and lead with vigor and energy and vision, but equally not to become bottlenecks within our teams. And a theme is emerging. We're seeing three different types of managers within agencies. What we call the distracted child. These typically live at the top of the business. The founder, typically the more visionary of the agency leaders that likes doing lots of new stuff, shiny things, shiny toys, and ultimately creates a bit of chaos and distraction within the agency. Some managers, particularly the middle managers, I guess, those that have been promoted from being peer to manager from technical or creative backgrounds and find themselves not necessarily enjoying that role very much. We see as being the enigma. So this management lark isn't all it was cracked up to be, and we see them with headphones on, kind of sulked in chairs, getting a little bit disgruntled when being approached by members of their team, choosing to converse more often on tools like Slack and WhatsApp rather than having human-to-human, face-to-face conversations. Probably most common is the superhero, the manager who, again, has been promoted from peer to manager, was previously good at doing the thing, be it development, coding, design, video production, and now sees their job as a manager to be really, really helpful, so it comes from a good place. But ultimately what they end up doing is creating a codependency on them. So they end up solving all the problems, leading by direction, sometimes by micromanagement, and they create a big problems for themselves. So the team doesn't think for themselves. They're inherently dependent upon the advice, the input, the direction, the problem-solving skills of the manager. So the team stops learning and developing. They're inherently reliant upon the superhero manager. The superhero manager ultimately feels good, feels purposeful, feels like they're solving problems, but never really takes the team forward. The team never really grows. The team never moves forward strategically. The manager is always busy and has no time because they become the superhero for the team. So what can we do about it, particularly when times are tough and we need our teams to be high performing and kind of achieving more perhaps than peacetime operations? Well, three things really. Training. We expect our managers to be managers and leaders because they've shown a high level of competency, communication, behavioural skills when they were working within the team. We put them into a management position. We think you're the saviour to all of our problems. Potentially we get a little bit frustrated with them, but we never invest in them. We don't put them through any kind of process, a personal development process, or offer them any kind of leadership or management training at all. We just expect them to be good and learn through failure alone. What else do we need? We need the good old dull and boring stuff in place first. Often this management piece is unclear, it's ambiguous. We don't have clear job descriptions, or if we had job descriptions, they're very task oriented, not accountability centric. And when that's the case, it's really difficult to define KPIs and objectives. And when that's not in place, it's really, really difficult for our teams to know what good looks like, to know what to do on a daily basis. And it makes it impossible for our managers to manage because they don't know what they're managing to. So we need the dull, boring stuff in place. We need to invest in our teams from a training perspective. But probably most importantly, or the thing that can have the highest impact in enabling these managers to deliver, is developing a coaching-based mindset, where at one end of the spectrum we have direction and micromanagement. The other end of the spectrum, we have coaching, which is supportive leadership, listening, asking questions, re-emphasizing the burden of responsibility being on the employee rather than the coach kind of taking on the problems and the issues from the team. So developing our coaching skills, listening, asking open questions, not providing stealth solutions. Stealth solution is an idea supplanted in a question. So it starts with have and ends with question mark, but in the middle is an idea or a piece of direction. Have you tried implementing this new piece of software? Have you ever told the client that they need to pay more for that service? Their ideas, the direction, but they're kind of masked in a question. What can we do to enable our middle managers to be better managers? Be it they a distracted child, an enigma, or a superhero. investing them from training. It's really, really simple. Make sure the dull and boring stuff is in place. It's impossible for our managers to manage or our teams to be led if we don't have clarity around job roles, descriptions, KPIs and accountabilities, and then develop the coaching-based mindset, coaching-based skills within our leaders to provide a more supportive leadership environment rather than a directive one. From a training perspective, this is absolutely where we can help. We've got a ton of training courses on leadership development within agencies. If you'd like to know more, please get in touch.